Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Hoosier Vapers channel. Today we're here at a local vape shop in Greenwood, Indiana to talk about starter kits. As many of you may know, the Food and Drug Administration rules go into effect on August 8th, and from that point on, vape shops can no longer talk to customers about the benefits of vaping or even demonstrate how to set up a starter kit. So today we're here with our friend Thomas, who's decided he's going to switch to vaping. He wants to quit smoking, and we're going to help him do that today by finding the right starter kit for him and showing him how to set it up and how to maintain it. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
So, how much do you smoke?
I'm a 2.5 to 3 pack a day smoker.
2.5 to 3 pack a day smoker. So you're what we would consider a heavy smoker, somebody who smokes 2 to 3 packs a day. Okay. So at that, when you're picking your e-liquid, you want to keep that in mind, and you want to pick e-liquids that are between 12 and 36 milligrams. Right. That's going to give you the nicotine level that you're used to, and you're going to be vaping around the same amount of time that you were smoking. Okay. Puffs per day is what we call it. And that's going to give you the nicotine level that you're going to be wanting. If you were smoking between 1 and 2 packs a day, you'd be between 6 and 18 milligrams for e-liquid. If you're less than a pack a day, you're going to be between 0 and 6 milligrams. And the great thing about it is you can tailor it to fit your needs. Okay. It's your experience, it's your path. So just like we're going to pick devices today that work for you, you also are going to find the right flavors that work for you and the right nicotine that works for you. So you can change this at any time to fit your needs. Okay? Okay. Great. So we're going to look at a couple of device options. You're a heavy smoker. So I'm probably going to recommend for somebody who's a heavy smoker what's starting off a sub-VOD kit. All right. This is going to give you a little bit more bang, a little bit more vapor. There's what's called Ohm's law, which I'm not going to get into the science behind that, but this basically operates at a sub-ohm level. So it heats faster, heats the coils faster, produces a lot more vapor, but it takes a lot more battery power to do that. But when you do that, the more vapor you're getting, the more you're going to be getting that nicotine, but you're also going to be getting more flavor as well. So this is a device that I'm going to recommend for you. But we're going to look at something for the average person, and this is called an EVOD starter kit, and they're pretty universal. We call all of these types of devices an EVOD. And basically when you go into a vape shop, these cost between $20 and $60 depending on the exact brand. But what it is it's your battery, your tank with a coil inside it, a bottle of e-liquid, and a carrying case. Sometimes you can get 2 batteries or devices in one case. You can mix and match the colors. Everybody has a bunch of different ones. And this is what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to show you how to use this as well, and some of the other ones, such as this is more of a hybrid between this older style and kind of the newer sub-ohm, but still small kind of pin style. So looking at this is your battery, and you treat this just like you would any other battery in your flashlight and your remote and especially like the ones in your cell phone or in your laptop. You don't overcharge them. You don't leave your phone sitting on the dashboard when you run in to go grocery shopping in the hot summer. Don't leave it on in your pocket. Don't leave it charging while you go, on vacation. It is a battery, and batteries, when they're overcharged or left in the heat, can and will explode. And I don't want to hear about you on the news getting injured. Okay, let's not have that happen. So this is your battery. This is your tank, and the tank will either open from the top, which would unscrew here, or it will open from the bottom.
So that tip is not removable?
On this one, it is not removable. On some of them, it is removable. And that may be something that you want to look at when you're looking at the different types of tanks and devices is, do I like the tip that's on it? Can I switch it out with something different? So this is the coil for this device, okay? This is the actual coil right here. I'll unscrew it from the base so that you can see it all the way, okay? So this little cotton material right here actually sits inside that tank, and the e-liquid gets absorbed by that cotton. The cotton passes through a little metal coil that's been kind of wound up, and when the battery touches the end here through the base of the tank, okay? When the battery touches with that and you turn it on, you press that button, it sends electricity to the coil that causes it to heat. that causes the liquid to vaporize or atomize, okay? And then it comes out, and you have the vapor that comes out of the hole, and you breathe it in.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically how it works. So I'm going to put the coil back on. Okay, I got it on the right, yes. Okay, now, see that little hole in the center there?
Yeah.
There's a little chamber. That goes straight to the mouthpiece. What we don't want is we don't want to pour our e-liquid into that little hole, because then it's just gonna run out the bottom and spill out all over your hands and everything, and then it's gonna, you know, when you're vaping, you're gonna have liquid in your mouth, and we don't want that. So we're using an e-liquid, and we tilt the device or the tank to the side, and we just fill it in, making sure that we're not, you know, dripping into that little hole, or filling into that little hole. And
for the first 0.1 seconds, it hits 100 watts, and then it'll go down.
Smells delicious. It's going to taste great too. And if you look in the little chamber there, you see the top of that chamber that we talked about where the hole is?
Yes.
See how the liquid goes up almost to it but not quite to the top?
Yeah.
You don't want to overfill that, because again, that's going to cause it to overflow.
Right.
So we don't fill it all the way to the top. We don't go all the way there. So then we've checked, we've made sure that our coil is on good and tight onto the base, and we screw it back on, okay? And you want to make sure that it's on there. We say finger tight. It needs to be a little bit more than finger tight, especially on these devices. You want to make sure that when you're refilling this tank that you have a hold of it firmly, so that it doesn't spill or fall over or what have you. So we're going to leave that like that for a minute, and we're going to talk about the battery, because the liquid has to now absorb into that cotton. And on these types of devices, these types of coils, we want to wait probably 5 to 10 minutes before we use it on a fresh coil. You don't have to do that every time you fill it, only when it's a new coil. Okay? And the great thing about this device is you can actually go in to any vape shop and buy replacement coils, so you don't have to throw the tank away. You just throw the coil away when it starts tasting funny after a few weeks, or the color changes to the e-liquid. That means that the coil's kind of gone bad. Okay, so with this device, you have 5 clicks to turn it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see how that light's flashing? That means it's on. When you hold the battery, if it stays with a solid color while you're holding that power button, that means the battery's charged. If it flashes, that means that the battery needs to be recharged. So after a couple of days, you're going to need to charge it. You may only get a day's worth depending on how much you're using the device. If you're, vaping constantly, then you're probably going to need to charge it every day. If you're super vaping on one of these smaller devices, you might want to get 2 of them. That way you always know you have a backup ready. So when you're ready to charge this device, all you have to do is take the charger that comes with it, okay, and screw it in, okay, and then plug this in to one of those USB cubes to charge it. Whatever you do, do not plug this in to your car. Okay. Even if your car has a USB charging port on it, do not charge this in your car. Don't hook it up to the lighter in your car. Do not charge this in your car. Always use this device. You can charge this on your laptop, like plugging it into your laptop, and that's actually a pretty recommended way of doing it, because it doesn't pull too much energy to it at one time. The light will flash when it's charging. It'll be red. The little bulb right there will be red. And on different devices, it'll change to a different color, either green or blue or white, to let you know that the device is fully charged. And again, don't leave it on the device, don't leave it on the charger once it's fully charged. Make sure to take it off. It's okay if it's on there for, 15 minutes to a half hour or something like that, but don't leave it charging, don't leave for the day and leave it sitting there charging, because that's how accidents happen. And again, we don't want to hear about you losing your house on the news because you left your e-cig plugged in. So we have to be responsible about how we use our batteries. Okay? Again, with the battery, 5 clicks to turn it on, 5 clicks to turn it off. Okay, and now see it flashed, so it's turned off,
Yeah.
and it won't light up now when I press it.
Okay.
When you put it in your pocket, when you carry it around, make sure that it's turned off. Okay, it only takes 5 clicks to turn it back on, and it doesn't have to warm up or anything like that. Once it's on, it's ready to use. So just for safety reasons, you don't want this going off in your pocket, firing, and that little button being held in by your car keys or your cell phone or what have you. Don't throw it into your purse or bag. Don't throw it into your lunchbox, toolbox, dashboard, anything while it's on. Always make sure to turn it off. Okay, now we're taking the tank and we're getting it all nice and snug on there. Again, you want it a little bit more than finger tight.
Yeah.
Make sure it's got a good connection. You guys at home might not see this on the camera, but there's tiny little holes right here.
Okay.
These are air holes, okay? So don't hold the device so you're covering that,
Okay.
because that's where the air comes in to create the vapor. So you want to hold it down low. I hold mine so that my thumb is pressing the button and I use it.
Yeah.
Those holes may become blocked from in your pocket, a little bit of buildup of gunk, things like that. It's okay to, when you take it off the battery, don't twist here. Hold that metal ring tight and twist the battery. Okay? That prevents this from opening up and spilling all over you. But you could take a little thumbtack or push pin and open that hole up and wipe it out. Okay? You want to make sure that you don't have any buildup of e-liquid on the top of the battery connector. That sometimes can happen. So when you have a new coil, you wait a few minutes. You can actually see the air bubbles that are rising up in there.
Yeah.
That's because the wick is absorbing the cotton and expelling the air that's actually in the cotton.
Okay.
So it's starting to work.
Yeah.
If you're in a hurry, without pushing the button, you can act like you're vaping and just pull on it, just.
Okay.
But don't push the button, and that'll cause more air to come in, and it'll make the e-liquid absorb or wick up a lot faster. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have a carrying case. You have your charger. You have your e-liquid.
This makes sense.
In your carrying case, you can also keep extra coils, things like that. You can fit 2 devices and 2 batteries and tanks in there. You can sometimes put extra tanks so you don't have to switch flavors as often, and you're ready to go. Okay, so earlier we talked about you're a heavy smoker, smoking 2 or more packs a day, so we're going to get you set up with the sub-VOD kit. I'm not going to go into Ohm's law, which is very technical on how this works, but basically this device is very similar to the other device. It's an upgrade. It's a little bit more put together, but it also allows you to vape at a higher temperature that allows you to get more vapor, more flavor. You're going to get nicotine a little bit differently, more level than you were with the other device. And you can see just from opening this device and taking a look at it, see you have the glass tube. This is typically made out of Pyrex glass. It's sturdy. It's going to hold up to temperature and things like that. It's not shatter-proof, but it will hold up to the occasional ding and tap and things like that. But you don't want to drop it on the ground because it will shatter. But luckily, they do include a backup glass tube in the case or in the box for you. So just in case it does break, you have a quick replacement. If we open this up and take a look at the coil inside, just like the other one, it screws into the base plate. The base plate connects to the battery, and your air holes are at the bottom. You'll notice right off the bat that those air holes are a lot bigger, and they're actually adjustable on the right there. That's the air hole for the tank. Here's your coil, and you can see that those juice holes that allow the juice to wick up into the coil are a lot bigger, and there are a lot more of them. There's a lot more cotton in here, and you can actually see the metal coils that actually run around the entire outside of the coil. So this produces a much bigger vaping experience, but this may not be where you want to start off at. You know, just to get started, you may want to start with one of the other devices. Now this is a top tank. This is a top tank, which means that you can actually unscrew that top and you can actually fill from the top. So you don't have to worry about, you know, turning it over or what have you. So you can just keep it up on your device, unscrew it, fill, and you gotta again make sure that you're not getting it into that center hole. Fill it and you're good to go. Just put the top back on and screw it back on. Run it a little bit tight. On this one, the drip tip does come off, so you can replace it with different drip tips. But it operates exactly the same way as the other one that we showed earlier. This air hole, it's a little tight right now, but it opens up and allows you to adjust how much air you get, and that's totally subjective. It's totally what your preference is, so I recommend first trying it with the air all the way open and then closing it a little bit more as you're trying to find your right experience. The other cool thing about this one is this has a USB port right on there, a micro USB port, so this can be charged. Now again, don't plug this into your car, you know, don't plug it into big outlets, things like that. You want to be safe with it, but it does allow you to charge it, and you can continue to use it while it's charging. So that's helpful. With the other one, while it's charging, you obviously can't use it. With this one, while it's charging, you can use it. It operates exactly the same way. 5 clicks to turn it on. 5 clicks to turn it back off. It operates exactly the same way. So you know, you might want to take a look at one of these and give them a try. Okay, so here's the brochure that Hoosier Vapers puts out. It's all about what is vaping. It answers a lot of the questions that you might have about, is it safe? How do you vape? How do you switch to vaping? It even has a little bit of information about what's going on in the industry right now, both here in Indiana and across the country. You know, and the first thing that I like to tell people is that this is not cool. Okay, this is not a fad. This is not something that all the hipsters are doing. This is a way for people to get off of cigarettes. This is a way to reduce the harm caused by smoking. 400,000 people a year die in the U.S. from smoking-related illnesses. They've tried to quit using, you know, pills, patches, potions, hypnosis, cold turkey, willpower, everything you can think of. And the vast majority of people fail. People succeed with vaping because it mimics the feel and the actual behavior of smoking, but you don't get all of the other chemicals that you would normally find in cigarettes, or you get them at levels that are low enough that they're not creating negative harm. Is vaping safe? Nothing is 100% safe. This is safer than smoking. This is for people who were or are smokers. This is not for people under the age of 18. This is not for people who have never smoked. If you didn't smoke, don't vape. If you want to quit smoking, vape. We're about tobacco harm reduction. Tobacco harm reduction is about preventing the death and disease that comes from smoking combustible cigarettes. It's been said many, many times, people smoke cigarettes for the nicotine, but you die from the tar. There are numerous university and international studies that have shown that vaping is actually 95% safer and healthier than smoking cigarettes. But it's an alternative to cigarettes. It's not something for people to pick up if you've never smoked before. Okay, but so this has got a lot of information, good information in here about how to start vaping, things to look out for, as well as we've got a handy little guide to what to expect next, the first 20 minutes from switching to vaping all the way down to the next year. One of the things you're going to experience is you're going to get a sore throat and you're going to cough up a lot of phlegm. This is good. This is your body healing. A lot of people don't realize that cigarettes actually have an anesthetic in them to numb your throat. And your throat is dead. It's coated, you get that smoker's tongue, the fuzzy tongue. All of that starts to go away. And when you're doing that, part of the body's process of healing is, for lack of a better word, scabbing up, but it's not really scabbing up. It's just healing. The phlegm that you cough up is actually the mucus that your lungs produced while you were smoking. And it's expelling that leftover phlegm. You're actually going to, within 1 week, you'll produce little to no additional phlegm moving forward. Within the first 24 hours, your carbon monoxide level cuts in half. You get reoxygenation to the blood going to your brain. So you're going to feel a lot better. You're going to get a sore throat. You may get a little dizzy. And you're going to cough up phlegm. All of those negative things are actual positives that will be gone within a month. You won't be experiencing them anymore. Drink plenty of water, stay hydrated. You're leading a healthier life now by switching to vaping and putting down the nasty cigarettes. You're going to find that food is going to taste different. Things are going to smell different. You're going to be in a lot better place. So take a look at that. We've got a lot of great information in there. If you have any questions or need any help, first and foremost, stop into your local vape shop. They'll be happy to help you as best they can. There are some restrictions on the things they can and can't say caused by the federal government. But you can always go to HoosierVapers.org, and we're happy to answer any questions. We've got a dedicated team of volunteers who are pro vapers, and we're here to help you. So congratulations, man. Welcome to vaping.
Thank you.